Here's my nightly thought, and that's that you need to stop being so awkward around girls that you like or that you find attractive or that you want some sort of relationship with. Just an hour ago, I was at the gym for like 2 hours, like 11 p.m. and there was this girl there, and she was painting a mural on the wall. She's like my age, and I saw her like pushing this like rack of weights so she didn't get paint on it, and I went over to ask for help, and then she's like, no, it's okay, and then I kind of walked away, and that was the only interaction we had. And then I just like hit my workout for like another hour, and when I got home like an hour and a half later, I opened Snap and I see her adding me, and I was like, what is this? How did she even find me? How does she even know my name? We didn't introduce ourselves, and I was literally so confused. And I started to get nervous, and I started to overthink beyond any reasonable doubt. Like, I was so nervous for no reason, because she texted me, and she's like, I just wanted to say that, like, I saw you at the gym, and, like, you're a really mighty fine man. Her words. And I was like, and I started to get super nervous. I literally took an entire lap around the park outside my house because I was like kind of filled with adrenaline because I was nervous and I was kind of scared on like what to say or do. But the reality is that I had to like take a second to like look at the sky, look at the stars, and ponder on my ancestors for a second and realize being nervous in that situation, it's fun. It's kind of a good feeling, but being nervous isn't helping anything. Me looking at my text and like reading it like 5 times before I send it isn't helping anything. Me purposely saying less than I wanted to because I am worried about coming off too strong isn't helping anything. One, I don't want to focus my entire life on just a relationship or girls, right? So I just have that in mind with my goals first, and then suddenly the other thing follows. Because if you're texting this girl back and forth and you're purposefully waiting hours in between texting because you don't want to come off too strong, it's like, okay, most of the time, for example, that doesn't work anyways. And even if it did work, wouldn't you rather be with somebody who you could text and it not be weird? Wouldn't you rather be with someone who you could text a lot and or text kind of what you want to say without it being weird? Like, because if you pretend and you put on this face and you wait hours in between texting and you analyze every single message you say, you're almost putting on a front. And then the version of you that they think you are isn't actually you. So when you potentially develop a relationship or you get into an actual talking stage or anything with this girl, you're going to be super confused after a few months as to why things change or get different, because the real you is going to start to slip through the cracks, and the version of you that you put up isn't going to stay there forever. And that might be fine, but in a lot of situations, you don't want to be a fake person to the person you want to, I guess, attract. Keep that in mind. Now, also keep in mind that you don't want to make this your priority. If you clicked on this video, I'm assuming it's somewhat important to you. If you have this girl, I'm sure you're thinking of the exact one right now, that you text and you like her and you want her to like you back, and you kind of analyze every single message you send, or you purposely don't send messages for a long time because you think it'll be weird. Stop. Just be natural with it and do it how you want. And more importantly than that, don't make it your priority. If you're overthinking it to the point where you're like analyzing every little single letter that you send in the text, it is too much of a priority. You need to have your purpose and yourself and God as your number one priority, and all of that up here. And then once you do that, these things like texting girls or getting friends and just things like that will come as a side effect of you focusing on yourself. And more importantly, you'll be able to hold those because they'll be built on a strong foundation. When you focus on yourself and God first, your foundation is extraordinarily strong. and it doesn't crumble when it's based on God. But when you base it on worldly things like lust, for example, that pillar that your foundation is sat upon is made of sand. And when the storm comes, it'll just wipe that whole pillar out, and then suddenly everything you worked for is just gone. So you need to be actually like really intentional about not faking who you are. And this doesn't just come with relationships like romantically, this can also be with like friends. You don't ever want to just fake who you are just to be with friends, you know? Like if you have friends and you hate what they do, like be so for real. If you like have that friend that you hate being around and they're just like a negative Nancy and like they literally just drag you down, or maybe they have bad habits that you don't agree with or that you don't want to fall into, stop faking who you are just to fit in with them. Be who you authentically are, and that's when you will attract people to be friends with that don't require you to fake who you are to be friends with them. It is so important because the amount of people that I see never having a real friend group is insane. I mean, I know this from experience because back in the day, like I had fake friends. And it's not like they're bad people, and it's not like the relationship was necessarily terrible, but it was just like I had to kind of fake who I was a little bit to fit in with them. And once I stopped doing that, guess what? I have significantly less friends than I did back then, but the friends that I have now are 100 times more quality of friends, and we're 100 times closer than I ever was with them. And we are authentically ourselves when we're with each other. And that's what makes it such a strong friendship. And that's the same thing with relationships. I've had fake relationships before, just like that. But I've also had real relationships. And those real relationships, when you are authentically yourself, are the kind that hold your heart and really test you and bring you farther and command you to grow. Be authentically yourself, and don't let anybody try to take that away from you. Because you are made in God's image, and the way that you are is the way that you were meant to be. You can always improve or try to do better in certain aspects, but being authentically who you are is so important for everything and everyone around you. Don't forget it. That's all I have to say. But yeah, thanks for watching.